This is VOA News. Via remote, I'm Marissa Melton. The United Nations and the government of Bangladesh have signed a memorandum of understanding to work together on help for Rohingya refugees on an island in the Bay of Bengal. The Bangladeshi government has already moved more than 19,000 out of 1.1 million Rohingya refugees in southern Bangladesh to the island of Bhasan Char. Initially, the UN and other aid agencies opposed Bangladesh's plan to move the refugees from camps to the island, saying the land was not fit for habitation. But the government of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina says it has spent $112 million on improvements that include seawalls, hospitals, schools, and mosques. UN officials said in a statement that they signed the Memorandum of Understanding on Saturday in order to start serving the population now living on Bhasan Char. Bangladesh has sheltered more than 1 million refugees from neighboring Myanmar, which does not recognize them as citizens. A UN-sponsored investigation in 2018 recommended the prosecution of Myanmar's top military commanders on charges of genocide, war crime, and crimes against humanity for the violence against the Rohingya. The doctor of the jailed former Georgian president, Mikhail Saakashvili, says his patient needs to be hospitalized after 10 days on hunger strike. Saakashvili declared a hunger strike after he was arrested October 1st and incarcerated in the city of Rustavi. His detention came just hours after he announced he had returned to Georgia following an 8-year absence. Saakashvili was convicted in absentia in 2018 for abuse of power during his presidency. He says the charges are politically motivated. VOA News. Austria's president has welcomed the resignation of Chancellor Sebastian Kurz and demanded that the country's politicians work hard to restore voters' trust after several days of drama that brought the government to the brink of collapse. President Alexander Van der Bellen said he will swear in Alexander Schallenberg, currently Austria's foreign minister, as chancellor later on Monday. Kurz announced his resignation on Saturday after prosecutors announced he is one of the targets of an investigation of suspected bribery and breach of trust. Kurz and his close associates are accused of trying to secure his rise to the leadership of his party and the country with the help of manipulated polls and friendly media reports financed with public money. Kurz became the leader of his Austrian People's Party and then chancellor in 2017. Government forces have detained at least 500 people in a sweeping crackdown in Indian-controlled Kashmir, according to local officials on Sunday. This follows a string of suspected militant attacks and targeted killings in the disputed region. Assailants fatally shot 3 Hindus and a Sikh person in the region's main city of Srinagar this week in a sudden rise in violence against civilians that both pro- and anti-India Kashmiri politicians widely condemned. Local police blamed the spate of killings on militants fighting against Indian rule in the region. For decades, officials said they had detained in the last 3 days more than 500 people across the Kashmir Valley for questioning. And Abdul Qadir Khan, celebrated as the father of Pakistan's nuclear weapons program, but accused of smuggling technology to Iran, North Korea, and Libya, has died. He died Sunday at age 85. The nuclear scientist, who spent the last years of his life under heavy guard, passed away in the capital, Islamabad, where he had recently been hospitalized with COVID-19. Khan had long been hailed a national hero for transforming Pakistan into the world's first Islamic nuclear weapons power and strengthening its clout against rival and fellow nuclear-armed India. But he was declared by the West a dangerous renegade for sharing technology with rogue nuclear states. India's government said Sunday it has ample coal stocks to meet the demand of its power plants, seeking to lessen fears of imminent blackouts in New Delhi and other cities. Clarification came a day after Delhi's chief minister warned of a looming power crisis in the megacity. Via remote, I'm Marissa Melton, VOA News.